Welcome to the Sir Ism Show. This show is all about male masculinity, female femininity, and being a real goddamn man. Holding yourself accountable, knowing everything is on you. Guys, it's not going to be easy. But this show will keep you 100% real when it comes to women and relationships. Welcome to the MACKISPHERE! The no cap zone, the no BS zone. Get off your phone and go outside and knock you a nice young bitch, Jack. Something like that. You can put your flavor into it. Just a little real spill. No chilly cold blood. Yo, Sirism, spit that shit. Stay up while you put that game down. I'll see you at the top, Jack. Yeah.
Anybody else there? Like, what? Anybody shocked about my testimony? Like,
I was waiting on OG to get in. Nah, but ain't nothing wrong with that, bro. A lot of us was raised to be husbands. As a matter of fact, ain't nothing wrong with that, yo. If you was raised to be a husband, that means you were raised around a good man. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I have fathers, no, because like how you was talking about your grandfather, I wish I was raised like my grandfather. My grandmother and grandfather broke bad with each other. I grew as I was born on my grandfather's birthday, so I think if I was around him, I would have probably turned out like him. He had 9 kids, 20-something grandkids, and like 40-something great grandkids or something like that. But me, was born on the same day, and I wish I had him around because he was in the military, and I think that's why he has so many ladies, because he had a good job and all types of stuff. I only met him twice, and he passed away when I was like 10. So, but I still have my my father, my uncle, big cousins and stuff like that. So.
And then my dad, he was cool too, man. Let me tell you, I grew up around a bunch of blue pill dudes. But man, them blue pill dudes, man, they tougher than people give them credit for, man. It wouldn't be a red pill without the blue pill, man. Them dudes, man, I love my granddad and my dad. Like, you know, they did the whole about getting married, the house, the kids, but look what legacy came from their dream, from their blue pill dream, man. I ain't mad at it.
Let me tell my quick blue pill story. And it unfolded as I got older. Because I realized my father was red pill. But like, he was so red. He went so hard, he didn't even tell me about women. And he liked the fact that I was moving how I was doing. He didn't tell me shit. And I got older. I'm like, how come you never told me about girls? He was like, I ain't want you to get caught up with me. And he was okay with me being blue pill because he kind of knew that I was gonna like keep myself out of getting in my own way more than even I did, because I guess being blue pill was like keeping me from getting somebody pregnant and shit like that. Because the way I was moving, he didn't even say shit. I think he saw me feathering. He was like, "Well, it's better where you could be." So.
Exactly, like, because a lot of these cats, they scared of women too early. I want OG to really get in here too, but you know, other young cat. But like these cats, the reason why he didn't stop you because he didn't want to see you like these young cats right now, where they just so scared they stagnant. He let you go out here and make mistakes. That's the whole blue pill thing. You can go out here and make mistakes. Your daddy got your back, and your granddaddy, your uncles got your back. That's what this space is really technically. I thought this space was technically for. That's what I thought.
Yeah, but, me too. That's why I only stay. I kind of only stick with a few channels because I like staying to the root of shit. Like all this other bullshit, I don't know. But I feel like certain spaces like it's the how can I say it? It's like the block or the corner of the manosphere. That's why I'd rather be at than all this other shit, talking to actual authentic men about authentic situations and learning about, life, about women, and just being a man at that. Because both of those things are very, like, vast.
I agree with all of you. It's like, how's everybody doing first? Doing okay?
Going good, bro. Doing good.
Doing good.
I just came up with, I think it's you know, first I was thinking like, well, these are the younger guys, right? And then I just sat back and I start studying this YouTube street. And I think it's a lot of older guys messing it up, man. Because these young guys are, okay, say you take somebody who's frustrated, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they can't, they're not, the dating scene is not the same, right?
Right.
Then you got guys 10, 15 years after you, and they don't went through that, but then they had a little hard time too, and they frustrated too. So it's kind of like two patients trying to cure each other. But see, one is listening, and the other one supposed to be the expert because he's just a little older. You know what I mean? Because it ain't that many real young guys. I would like to see more guys in their 20s get challenged. Really, their early 20s. And because some of the older guys will give you so much bad information.
Mm-hmm.
And if you already hurting, and it's like, it's not healing you, but it's almost like it's like it's a pep rally.
It's making it worse.
It's making it worse because these older guys, still them have learning from their shortcomings. They ain't learned anything from it, and so they're still frustrated and angry too. Mm-hmm. Now you get the guys 10 more years, and then they'll settle their ass down, and then now they're ready to teach. They're ready to give information. But you can't give information when you're struggling too. That's like two crackheads trying to give each other information. One has been into crack 10 years before you, and he's trying to tell you how to smoke crack better. You know what I mean? Well, that's some dumb ass shit because the young one's trying to figure out how in the hell he gonna get off the crack, and the old one's trying to show him how to smoke the crack.
To be a more effective crack smoker.
Yeah. So I just sat back, man, and then I was listening to Kwame there earlier today, and they had one of the basketball players that I was totally impressed with, and he was saying like, "Look, man, it's some kind of way we older OGs, and when I'm talking about OGs, I'm talking about somebody past the 55, that we're gonna have to make a new connection with the younger generation." And we're going to have to sit back and we're going to have to listen to y'all. And then when y'all ask us for the advice, then we give it to you. But we can't come in these challenges trying to son y'all ass. You know what I mean? Because a lot of this new generation do have male figures in their life and stuff like that. And they need to hear a different perspective because due to the fact is, you expect your father to tell you certain things. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Or you expect your uncle to tell you certain things, but if you get it from a stranger who has no interest or no dog in the race, you might take it and be able to add it on to stuff you already have. Because a lot of young guys, I'm just gonna tell the truth. A lot of young guys know what they want, but let me just tell you, ain't no shortcuts, man. That's the problem. Is these older guys who are frustrated, they trying to give you some shortcuts. There ain't no shortcuts.
Yeah.
To be proficient in anything in life, you have to put the work in. And there's nothing no harder than putting work in and dealing with another mind. You know what I mean? Because that mind comes with its sets of thoughts and everything. And then y'all trying to get together. My last wife was Mexican. And she comes straight from Mexico. So she hadn't been here for a long time. So she still had the old ways. And maybe this word is not a good word when we say submissive. You know what I like to say? I like to say there's a difference between a lady and a woman. A woman is God-made. A lady, she's man-made. She changes from whatever the magazine tell her, whatever the print tell her, whatever friends tell her, and everything else, what's in fashion, what's not in fashion. A God woman, once she comes into herself, she knows exactly what she's supposed to be, what she represents, and she has confidence. you know. And we never talk about the confidence of women. Some women who are even loud, they shy. But they use that loudness to throw you off. And so you got to understand when you're dealing with some of these younger women, they just don't know. They're going, let me just give you an example of what I'm talking about. In 1991, the first time I ever dated my ex-wife, we was going on our first date. She was going to be chaperone. She called one of her friends and asked him, well, what do black guys like for you to wear if you're going on a date with them? And her friend told her, I like black guys like mini skirts. I had never seen this woman in a mini skirt. I always seen this lady in a dress, and it wasn't a mini skirt. And so when I got there to pick her up, I guess she seen the frown on my face, and she was saying, what's wrong? And I said, you can't go with me like that. And she was like, and she said, well, I wanted to make sure everything was going to be perfect. And I never dated a black guy before. So I asked my friend, what kind of clothes do y'all like, black people like? And she told me a miniskirt. I couldn't go wrong. And she had no problem to going back in the house and changing her clothes. So what I'm saying is sometimes women get bad information from other women. And they're trying to please you. Or, girls will tell their other friends, or play hard to get, or do that. And that woman might not even be her character, but she's getting a bad advice.
So just like how dudes get bad advice, girls get
there
bad
you go.
advice too.
Now you're starting to understand. So you got women out there who have experience and they play the game and they out there playing the game and they don't run through some bad relationship and they think all other girls go run into them same kind of bad guys. So they're trying to give them techniques, how you do this and how you do that. And they're getting bad information as well as the younger guys. I like to see the younger guys really, man, just get together and just say, you know what, we're going to have one old soul over here tonight. And we just go chop it up. And everybody else in here is going to be like, just say everybody else who's in here is like 27 or to 18. And we're going to get one elder in here and we're going to just go have a talk.
Well, that's what we're doing now.
That's exactly what we're doing now.
I'm 19. What you talking about, player?
Yeah, I got you, sir.
Sister, we need a woman up here, Sister George.
That's why it stays special.
Have you ever pulled up on me, Sister George? Pull up on Uncle Ism.
Yeah, I like Sister George. I ain't seen
pull on up, because these men, I don't know, a lot of this stuff in the MACKISPHERE.
But Sister George married now, so she probably
but she can give us some wisdom for these young men.
That's what I'm saying. She can give a lot of insight, because when she first came
a lot of
into
these
the picture,
men,
she wasn't married.
When they come up through this MACKISPHERE stuff, man, sometimes I see it can ruin you. It's a lot of good information, and I'm not going to say that. A lot of good information, but it's a lot of information too that I think it can detour a young man's development.
Right.
Go ahead, y'all.
Man to the dark side.
Yeah, but the problem with that is, sirism, is they'll give some good information, then they'll fuck it up.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? You don't go on the road of scholarship, and then you learn all this great stuff, and then at the end, they throw your ass a curveball. See, that's the problem. And I guess that's why, I see it in a different way. And your channel is unique because you probably one of the only person, and I'm serious, of everybody I ever F with in these YouTube channels, you the only person I know that sits on your throne. You go do your snick, you go do your thing, but you let these young men come in here and talk. And you ain't like you jumping on the channel where you need to listen to this. Y'all don't understand. I hear a lot of that. Y'all don't understand. Well, let me break it down to you. Well, see, that ain't gonna work. If you already got all the answers and all the questions, and you know what I mean, you go be the master ceremony. Nobody's disrespecting you from your channel, but you gotta let if it's about leading somebody or giving somebody information, you can't come in there like the Grand Poobah or a dictator, And that's when I start, I just stopped shopping around on these channels, man, and even giving my advice anymore, because it's like, okay, I give you a half a cake and they go spend the next 10 minutes trying to make you a shit pie. You know.
I had that experience the other week.
Wait. One second. I'm gonna give it back to you, whoever that was. I just want to make sure I got. Is that you, Prince P?
Yeah, that's Prince P, man.
Okay. It's Sister George. Is that you?
Yes, it's me.
Let's let Sister George have the floor. You see my topic. How you feel about that? And you've been around the manosphere. A lot of these guys scared. Are the women not up to qualifications? You know, all these different talks. You got the floor.
I actually think it's a bit of both. But when you are in a space such as this one, and you've gone through some things and you haven't gotten past those things, and then you have a group of men that are who's probably gone through similar experiences, and that's the only rhetoric that you're buying into at the moment, then yeah, I do think that it gets to be a little scary. It makes you very paranoid of people. And not to say that these guys don't have valid points as it pertains to some of our women, but of course, not all of us are like that, of course. But I can't say that I don't understand where they're coming from, because I've dealt with, and I'm not in a sexual way or anything like that, but I've dealt with women and had friendships with women, and women have screwed me over, but people have screwed me over. And I'm saying with women and men, like, I think it's just a part of life. But if you come into a space and the whole space's message is, don't trust these bitches ain't shit, these bitches ain't never gonna be shit, you don't need to get married, you don't need to do this, and then when you end up finding somebody worthwhile, or you're able to recognize people's nature, and you're saying, okay, well, Susie, let's just, use a fake name. Susie's not so bad. But I think that when you're in a space like this, they don't really give credence to their own bullshit. And we all come with something. Like, everybody comes with their own set of shit. But when you're in a space such as this one, and the rhetoric is constantly telling you that bitches ain't shit, and you buy into that, then I think it kind of does people a disservice, as opposed to taking everybody at face value.
That sounds spot on.
Huh?
So that sounds spot on. I could dig that.
Yeah, she makes some very valid points. I was just thinking about it as she was talking. I was just thinking about, say you went to the doctor and you was telling the doctor your back was hurt, and the doctor tell you, say, fuck you, man, you ain't going through shit. My neck hurt, my knee hurt, shit. And last week, I just got a cramp in my leg. It was so hurt. And before you get it all out, and you trying to get to the doctor to get some help, he telling you about all his damn problems. He ain't told you how to solve none of his problems, nothing. He's just telling you what you gonna go through life as far as your goddamn pain. So you wouldn't take that from a doctor. So y'all gotta be very wise how y'all come in these channels and listen to all this goofy stuff these people be telling you sometimes.
Sometimes it's not even just on the channel. Sometimes it's in real life.
That's what I'm saying, in real life. I mean, you see these same knuckleheads in real life.
Yeah.
The same knuckleheads. And so with me, I've been called everything from cape wearing brother, save all the, what I won't say. I've been called a simp. I've been called all kind. I've been called old, outdated, everything. But you know what? They can say all they want to. I don't have the problems they have. Mm-hmm. And until they can match that, I was playing basketball with a guy one time, and he was a good basketball player. But I made up in my mind, I'm like, damn, man, he probably could score about 14 more points if he just do this, right? So I went over there with my stupid ass advice, and I told him, I say, look, man, you probably can score more points if you do this and do that. He looked at me, he said, J Speed, how many points you score a game? I said, about 2 or 3, He said, when you get to 9 points, then you come and give me some advice. And I couldn't do nothing but laugh because he was right. What the hell I'm going to tell him about to score more points, and I'm scoring 2 and 3.
Right. You dig? Sister George, I'm going to come back to you, fellas, but I got Sister George here. I'm going to, whap and tap on her head so she can whap and tap on y'all head. These young men, are they a little softer than usual? Are they not ready for manhood in today's time? I don't want to make one era better than another era, but man, I see a lot of laziness, a lot of entitlement. Ain't nobody
You
gonna hand
know
you nothing.
what?
How you feeling about these young men around here?
I think you absolutely bring up a point, but you have to think about the generation that were raised by a lot of single mothers and a lot of single women, and a lot of fathers not being in the house. So this generation isn't necessarily equipped um to deal with certain situations more so than run. Or not deal with the situation at all. They're not the generation that's equipped to go through
Wait,
anything.
which generation you're referring to?
I would say like the Gen Zers, like the younger generation. I'm a Gen Xer. I'm 41. I'll be 42 in November.
What would you
But
say about the millennials? Because I was born in '92. I'm gonna consider myself a Gen Zer.
yes, sir. I don't mean any offense or anything like that, and I'm not trying to be offensive.
Oh
But
no,
from my
I'm not taking no offense. I just wanted to understand like other generations as well. I don't consider myself a Gen Zer, but also in my generation there was a lot of single parents as well. But I wanted to know some distinction. I didn't take no offense at all.
Well, okay. For one, I think with Gen Xers had to fight. So if we dealt with somebody that didn't like us, we didn't like them. We shoot a fair one. That's just what you know. Um, Nowadays it's like even with dealing, and I don't even know what generation my son would be called, but he's young. With dealing with bullies, there it's not a whole lot of fighting. Um, they it's just I don't think they're equipped to go through the same things, and maybe they shouldn't have to. But the generations are totally different than what I'm used to. Totally different. I feel like it gets awkward
Exactly.
every time I say
No,
something.
Sister George, exactly. Is that you, Brother James Kills?
Yeah, man, you already know, man. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? I lost my old channel, man, and my old phone.
Wait a minute
My bad for
about
the
your channel. First thing, see, Sister George, this is why you got to whap and tap on their head. Because he come in here, he done been on 29,000 shows, and he come in with background noise and all kind of stuff. Y'all don't do that to other people. Why y'all do that to Uncle Wisdom? He go to every other show, he'll get cussed out, kicked off the panel if he coming in with background noise. Then he come over here to Uncle Wisdom, he disrespecting the game. See what I'm saying?
My bad, Joe.
You must be generations ZX and Y. What's that
That was my
generation?
portable. That was my portable speaker. Ism. That's my
Whichever
portable speaker
generation
that I got.
is the most crybaby. That's what generation you from right now, coming in with that background noise, you big head nigga.
Nah, man, I'm Generation X. Feel me? Like I don't cry in these spaces. You never heard me cry. I make cussing hyena out, but I ain't complaining about no woman.
Well, all these people calling women hyenas. So what is you, a lion?
Yeah, you already know, man. Lions and hyenas.
Lions have pride. Then let me talk to one of your pride right now. I cash app you $20. Let me. A lion got 4 lionesses at least. 4 lioness at best. With 3 lioness at best.
I'm on a prowl.
So I need to hear from one of your lionesses, man. It's you not a lion, man. You more like a buffalo. Buffalo, man. I'm gonna call you a buffalo, man. Till I hear some lionesses. Hey, man. There you go. Y'all gonna be. I'm gonna call y'all a moose or something. All you lions, and y'all ain't got no lionesses, man.
I'll be a buffalo, Missouri. I got tough skin in these spaces.
Let me. Okay, well I'm gonna do that to you right there. Now this is what I'm gonna do. I want a lioness to speak. I'm gonna put her on the big. Oh, this is how a lioness sound.
Oh wow, I've never been called that before.
Yeah, see that's a lioness right there. Hey, Carlin, you got a lioness. So George, all these dudes, they say they lions, they this and that, but I thought lions have lionesses, man. I'm gonna start calling these cats mooses and buffaloes or something else.
Well, let me ask you a question, Uncle Islam. And
Mhm.
this is what I've been trying to figure out. Do y'all feel that men are the same type of masculine as previous generations?
Sister George, I tried my best not to be the old guy in the room. When I was young, I used to hate when old people used to say, "Oh, you generation, y'all sorry, you're lazy." We used to have to walk 8 miles to school. Remember all them stories you used to hear, right? So I'm trying not to say that, but man, I mean, some of even my daughter, some of their choices in men. I mean, they don't even want to just go get a little regular job. If they ain't making 100,000, they think they can't do nothing. I mean, they're getting just sorry. They don't want to cut the grass. You got to pay them to wash the dishes. How we got to pay you, and we done took care of your big head ass your whole life? You need to be paying us. These kids is crazy. Go ahead, Sister Joy.
Do you think, okay, even with the parents being in the house, because with my son, and I've kind of taken a notice with my son,
Mm-hmm.
um, he he thinks when I say entitled is not the word, and I kind of blame myself for that. But uh, you know, when you live apart from the father, so
Mm-hmm.
when the father gets him, the father spoils him.
Mm-hmm.
The mom is made out to be the bad guy because she has to be the disciplinarian, in the household.
Hmm.
And so the mama doesn't want to be seen in a bad light either, so she does things to overcompensate. And so I'm like, my son, like, watching my son is entitled as hell, and it's
Okay.
almost it's to a point of it. I ain't gonna say it's all the way embarrassing because he still does great in school,
Mm-hmm.
but like the entitlement is just like, whoa, like, why?
Mm. Okay. I'm gonna do this to you again, Sister George. Who created that monster?
Me and his daddy.
Here we go, right there. See that person right there? APB out. Guilty. You guilty. You did it, Sister George. You spoiled his ass. But
You
I
know what?
understand
But
because it'd be
it's
hard.
like,
Who else you supposed to spoil? It's your kid, so you try to keep him out of the streets and spoil him. Go ahead.
I tried, but it's like you don't necessarily want to do a disservice to the child by spoiling them too much, but you don't
Mm-hmm.
want him to fall off into the negative things. You want him to be used to having things and to be used to stuff. But like I said, when he goes to his father is gonna let him get away with murder. He come back home, I have to reprogram, and I'm fussing all the time. And you don't want to be seen as the fussy parent all the time either. So now that
Mm.
Curlin and I've gotten married,
Mm-hmm.
now it's a balance, having to balance all of that out, because now he looking at me and Curlin like, well,
How old is this young player?
9 going on 39. Whew.
No, no. Oh, he only 9 years old.
Yes.
Oh, you got action. And the only problem, the reason why you're having problems with the ism, the therapist. You know why you're having problems with the baby daddy?
Like,
Cause,
okay.
cause y'all not on one accord. So what you don't let him do, he try to let him do over there to poke finger at you. And now you moved on with your life and you happy, and he might be looking like, maybe I missed out on a good thing. This is just possible. So the two parents are not on the same wavelength, because what your discipline's supposed to be, his father's supposed to do the same thing. You say one thing, his father let him get away with it because he still might got a little bit of feelings for you. Sometimes that happens. And now Curlin is there, and y'all got that family unit going, and he might have said, damn, that's supposed to be me. You know what I mean? And now you happier, you looking better, more vibrant, you working out, you smiling. See what I'm saying? So sometimes that makes that adjustment right there. But he 9. Oh, we don't listen to 9-year-olds. Whap and tap on his head. All you gotta do is cut the Wi-Fi off. That's how you control the modern kid. Cut the damn Wi-Fi off.
You ain't never lied, because that's what I get to taking away. I'm like, okay,
Tell him
you
you're gonna
gonna
make him go
you looking
outside.
at a
He'll
white
cry.
wall. But
You know what?
no,
I'm gonna
this
make you
is
go
the
outside
thing.
and ride a bike. He go,
This
no, no.
this is the thing. He's an outside kid,
Oh,
so
okay.
I'll say that his father and I get along now. At one point
Okay.
we didn't. At one point we didn't, and I'm not gonna say it was all his dad's fault, because I was on some bullshit too.
Okay.
I would say we get along for the most part, but like he'll go with his dad a period of time,
Mm.
and his dad has this thing about manning him up. But I don't feel like my son has really any worth ethic. And maybe he'll learn some now,
Mm-hmm.
since he'll be with in a two-parent household. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
he'll learn some from Curlin, because I ain't gonna say mine is the best either. Because
Well, you got to make stuff up, Sister George. He's 9. You got to make him go outside. You got to tell him go out there and get all this trash in front of the house. Go out there and get the pine needles. You got to cut the YouTube off, cut the
oh
game off. You got to tell him go
yeah,
outside. If he don't, hey, you control everything. Hey, you want to go get some of his favorite food? Well, I need you to do this, brother. Take the garbage out. Find some shit for him to do. I need you to fold these towels up, because my mama taught me how to sew. I'm not a great sewer, but I can sew a hem. I might put a button on. Taught me how to cook. Taught me how to, wash my clothes. What's the whites? What's the color? One day she cut me off. I ain't wash your clothes no more. I was about 11. I'm like, what? She like, yeah. Made me learn how to wash. But I'm glad she did, because later on, it helped me be a self-sufficient man, so I never had to have a woman. A woman was extra. Some guys go from their mother, which their mother is their first woman, quote-unquote, girlfriend, wife, and then they get another girlfriend, and she abused that man because he need her. He's scared to be out on his own. So you got to push him to be more on his own.
yeah, that's true. That's really
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
That's
and,
spot
and,
on.
and reward him when he does stuff, like a little paycheck or a little something. You do this, then you get that. You don't do that, you don't get that. And this how life works. And slam the door and knock his picture off the wall and say, now I'm tired of this shit. And he'd be like, mama.
Put him through the same shit we went through, right?
Hey, we turned out all right. Shit, weapon tap on his head. I ain't gonna tell nobody on you.
When I say I used to pick up pine needles, so you brought me all the way back, I used to be mad as shit.
Yeah. It's a little who now who is that? Who is that? Is that me or you, Sister Joy? Okay.
Oh,
It's a little guy around here. I can't get none of the young little black brothers around the neighborhood. Little Spanish little dude. He be always seeing me outside in front of my house doing stuff, cleaning stuff, working on something. He said, man, can I cut the grass? The grass didn't really need to be cut, but I usually do it. I said, man, come on there, man. Come on. And then he came over the other day. Hey, got any work? I said, man, get the pine needles and just all this trash. It wasn't really nothing. I was like, what I owe you? He was like, $5. I gave him like $15, $16. Here, man. He was like, oh, thanks. That wasn't nothing but 30 minutes. I will work. I'm just trying to encourage him, but he's hungry. The brothers nowadays just want somebody to hand them something. Come on, young brothers.
yeah. Yeah, but it is definitely a difference in the generations. Like, you can see it, you can really see the differences, and they are it's like generations of criers and whiners, and it hurts. And so it's like, okay.
But he's 9. You got action, Sister Joe. If you'd
Yeah,
have said
yeah, with
19, I would
him.
have said it's too late.
Oh, no. You try to
Yeah,
fix identify the problems and fix it early. And so,
yeah.
the a big thing is the parents could be a big part of the problems, not necessarily the children. Children are going to do what they're taught and raised to do, but those are that's one of the things that we're kind of experiencing now with the
Yeah.
entitlement issues and stuff. So I think you brought about a good point with that.
Yeah, you and the child father gotta get on one accord, and then get him in some martial arts, some sports or something, and find
Yeah.
something he like, and then you take it away if he don't do what you guys say. If his grades not right, you take away something. Even if you gotta take him out of one game, because I remember my mama took me out of one game, and that sports. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't went to school. I ain't even gonna lie. The
But you
sports is
know what?
actually what kept me in school.
This is the thing now. He's book smart. And I would say he's pretty athletic for the most part, but I tend to let him do the sports stuff with his dad because his dad wants to personally coach him.
Hmm.
But when it comes down to my son getting in trouble, being smart mouth, um he's got a smart ass mouth. Like, and then he's the type of child to do shit and then ask for forgiveness later. And
Mm.
so
You,
it's
you,
kind of
you,
the
ain't, you ain't
thing.
put hands on him yet?
I I will take stuff away as opposed to putting hands on him.
Okay.
So so
Sometimes you
when you
gotta
talk
whap him
about
on
the
the back of his
iPad
dome.
and
I ain't say beat him, Sister Joy, but pat. Like one time when he get out of pocket sometime. I know I was talking crazy with my grandma. My dad snuck up behind me and popped me in the lip. Psh! I was like, oh shit. I got my mouth right about my grandma. I was out of pocket.
Oh yeah, we don't play that disrespect shit. Period. No, he's a pretty decent kid. He just think he told us he wanted a Rolex. So what the hell? He want to wear Gucci and Louis. I don't know who, why. Where you get that from? But yeah.
Anybody else want to get in there? Go ahead. Y'all got the floor.
Yeah, he want to wear Gucci and Louis. Yo,
Yeah, he get to busting these
little man
videos
got big
and
dreams. Word.
told us he was
But
gonna have a Rolex when he got
nah,
older.
well, right. But when you come to stepfather and stuff of that nature, man, I remember when I was 9, man, my stepfather ain't do nothing with me, man, because he got a he always fixed on cars. That's all he did. You know what I mean? His entire life, fix cars. I remember going outside, looking at him fixing the car, and he knew I was getting in trouble. He ain't even say, "Come over here, let me show you how to change the tire," or "Let me show you about these wires," or anything, man. He just let me one rapid. So that's why me and him always had beef. You know what I'm saying? So like when I got like 13 or whatever, I remember when he burned something, like some popcorn. I'm like, I don't smoke the popcorn upstairs. I went downstairs, man, and told him. So me and him just started fighting. Like it was crazy. But I just wish that he would have took time with set me down and told me like, yo, you get in trouble, I'm gonna take your video game, I'm gonna take whatever, you know what I mean? Just like what Ism talking about. But I don't think that was his responsibility or to raise me or because he was chilling with my moms or whatever. So I definitely got to look at it like that too. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
See, so,
isn't I
go
got
ahead.
to jump. I gotta jump down because Honey got me on some honeydew and honey butter. So
Okay,
I got
that's
to
my
get to
guy. You did? Carolyn M. M is for Mackin. Check. Thank you for pulling up, Sister George. Tell Carolyn, man, much respect, man. Congrats on the wedding, and y'all keep doing it, man. Show them that, black love, it ain't went nowhere.
Nah, baby, we keeping it alive and popping, baby, all over.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You ain't gotta be scared. Just get a few prenups. Life
Yeah.
gonna happen.
See, and we gonna work on that young man, because if not, you can bring him to Uncle Ism for the summer. I'll whap on and tap him on his head. Now he come back a new man. I'll get him
Oh,
together. Just let me know, Sister George.
I got you.
All right, thank you for pulling up, sister.
All right, y'all have a good one.
Hey, Sister George. Jacqueline. So my brothers, y'all still up in here, man? Y'all got the flow? Speak on it.
Don't everybody talk at the same time.
Go ahead, J Speed.
I'm done.
So what, Uncle Edson, what do you think about the new generation as far as they scared or your topic?
Well, I see a third of them that's really some go-getters. Some of them just need some direction, a little bit of molding, some smoothing out. I see some hope in a third of them. Another third of them, they knuckleheads and they want to be fighting and they want to gang bang. I'm gonna have to. Who got that background? Is that you, Kills? Yep. Okay. I see another third of them. They want to gang bang. They want to fight, but things come with that. It's some things that come along with that now. So then I see another third of them. Man, they just like pitiful. They just want everybody to do something for them, I guess, because they was raised by their mother, and their mother have coddled them. The girls, they kind of want to get away from their mother because it's only going to be one queen bee in the house. But for as the men, the mothers, sometimes y'all coddle these boys too much, and they get out in the world and they unequipped in what's going on. But about a third of them, some of them got their head on their shoulders, and I'm like, man, the young brother got a good head on him right there. So how you feel about that, JXP?
Yes, I know I come through here and I come through and I talk and I try to be motivation and inspiration. But if you really ask me what I really believe as far as the males and the females in this country, I'm just gonna tell you. I mean, what do they really have to reach for? See, this ain't the conversation I should be having with the young man's if I had to totally be honest. What do really they have to be? What is the best you can be in this country? That's I don't think that we even ask that question. Then when we do ask the question, we too embarrassed about the answer, and we get mad what the people go say. Uh, if somebody was being honest with you, okay. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. If you was raised by the Klan and you happen to have black in your skin, but you still look like you don't look like you got any black in your skin. You know, you can pass. Just say you can pass. And you just happen to be a black man and the clans raise you. What the best you go ever be is a fucking grand dragon. And see, that's the conversations I have with young men and I have with my son. And I was like, I'm not saying you can't survive in this country, but when you get to the ceiling, the best you will ever be is a clone of a white man. Seriously. And I know a lot of people don't like to hear that, but if you look at all our bad behaviors that we got, it's not, we don't have these bad behaviors in other places, but I've been to places where there's not been no major invasion of other people who don't look like us, who have impressed us, and who we follow behind. Look, man, to me, I feel like you gonna always be in survival mode in this country. Seriously, I just feel there's no way you can't not be. You have never seen anybody who has been taken, robbed of knowledge of self, name, religion, and language, and expect you to be anything else other than a clone. So when I see these brothers who are smart and who's intelligent and who don't have anything to do with the black community, I understand. Look, I totally understand them, man. I mean, I wouldn't be one of them, but I totally understand them because you got to decide what level you want to go to. If you go get educated, who are you educated by? Let's just be honest. When you go to school and you spend 6 hours a day, who are you educated by? What are you learning? You know, outside of mathematics and English, all that other stuff you're learning really to be inferior, and they're learning how to be superior. And you have two kids sitting in the same classroom, studying out the same book. He got heroes, and you got a sad damn face. So that's why, if anything, that parents go have to start educating their children way before they get to school and teaching them about who they are. Because once a man don't know knowledge of himself, he go project anything that he sees. And so people say, well, you can't prove that, JSP. I can still do this and I can still do that. I can do that. I'm like, look here, man. I'm going to make one point to you. Take an African who's go to Princeton or Harvard, and you stand right beside him and you go Princeton and Harvard. Which one of y'all sound like the white man? I guarantee you the one who's been here. The brother you hear from Africa, he still has that African tone in his voice, even though he's speaking correct English. He don't sound like you. So, that's why I don't like when people ask me this kind of goddamn question, because if I be honest, I'm going to make a lot of motherfuckers mad. We've been captured people, man. We over here, we survive, and that's why we can try all this shit that we want to try. Until we get our real true freedom, we go act just the way we act. Because think about it. Who are we trying to be?
That's
an honest thing.
Yeah, I hear a lot of what you're saying, OG. I'm about to give it to you, Prince. I hear what you're saying, because a lot of guys on here, they want to assimilate themselves or align themselves with Elon Musk or some of these look what happened to Bezos. Look what happened to Elon. I'm like, brother, but you're not that color. You how you gonna align yourself with what their world is? It's a whole nother world going on over there, brother. We got Prince P in here. Speak on it, Prince P.
Yeah, man. Like OG talking about, man. See, to put it in.
Come back, Prince Pete. What
Y'all
happened?
hear
Is
me?
it,
Yeah, we can hear you.
you balled out.
Okay, let me know if I bug out again. I'll bounce out. I ain't trying to mess up the flow of the show. Is I'm good
Yeah,
now?
keep flowing. Yeah, you
Yeah, you
good, baby.
good.
Come on.
Oh,
With the player.
all right. So what I'm saying is, yeah, we go in there school and they tell us we learning history. No, you're not. You're learning his story. Okay, we're not learning our true self and our true mindset and who we are and who we need to be. So, uh, what's going on in the mindset of the black man? You're absolutely right. When we started the gang culture come from the old gang culture. The drive-by we doing come from the Chicago outfit of Al Capone. It's like with the marijuana industry and the drug industry. That's prohibition we going through. That's why all them brothers got locked up for the weed. We going through a modern day prohibition now. Now they trying to legalize the drugs and lock all these niggeros up. Like they locked it up, Al Capone and all them other guys for the alcohol prohibition 100 years ago. So we got to understand that they won't let us use the crime element to liberate ourselves like they let it the Irishmen and like they let it the Italians use the crime element to buy their politicians off and do like that. Now they turn around and put the RICO Act on them guys. Now the RICO Act is messing with you. Now they hit you with conspiracy now. Like, you know what I'm saying? And throw you in there for thinking about it. Like they did, like I forgot his name. He was a football player. Ran for 2,000 yards back in the day. But he went to prison for like 3 months because he had a good lawyer because he let his homeboy use his phone. And his homeboy was trying to meet somebody for a dope deal. You know what I'm saying? I remember his name. He played for Tennessee, and he was the running back on the 2000 Raven championship team. So that's how I remember his name. But he got hit with conspiracy and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, man.
Jamal, something. I forget his name.
Jamal
right?
Lewis. Jamal Lewis.
Yeah, out of Tennessee or something like that. College.
Yeah, he went to Tennessee. Yeah, that's his name. Thank you. Because it was right on the tip of my tongue. But yeah, man. Pause. So at the same time, what's wrong with us is, we have been conditioned in this white society. And the bottom line is the black man, like Marcus Garvey said in his speech, that the black man is going to eat so much of the white man's food that he's going to become the white man. And and actually, some of these brothers in modern day history are actually being worse than the white man. That's why the violence against black folks is so bad, is because it's insulting in the subculture, in the deep consciousness of my mind. When a brother do something to us, you'll see that white hatred you have. You'll hate that brother because he's doing something the white man used to do. So that's why you'll blow his head off with no consciousness about it. Because you feel like he's doing something. Yeah, you think he's doing something white to you because it's embedded in you through the slavery.
That's
so
these new modern rappers, Prince Pete.
Yeah.
They demons. They'll go to war on each other. Fuck them niggas. I hate them niggas. But nobody talked about that little boy that got shot by that one man over there, in Detroit. You get what I'm saying? We ain't give an uproar. We didn't start rioting over that.
Nope.
He shot a little boy. You know what I mean?
Hey,
Go
man.
ahead.
Yeah, I mean, we got people, man, that we got popular YouTubers that's coming on, black guys that's coming on their YouTubes saying they're grapists, that they raped a white woman back in the day, and y'all super chatting this dude, man. I'm not gonna say his name because I'm not gonna talk down on him, but
right.
Right. Yeah.
I
y'all
appreciate the way you said
that.
that. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah, use other language in here, y'all. But seriously though, we'll go pee on another man's grave about another a black on black. I hate that nigga. Ooh, I hate him. I hate his mama. I kill everybody in his family. We'll do all that, but we won't do nothing when it comes to somebody about an uprising. Man, that stuff is sorry, man, to me.
Let me put
I don't
it
know
to
why
me.
we hate each other so much.
Let me put a bow. Let me put a bow on. You know, I'm gonna say this, man. I ain't dissing nobody, bro. But it's these so-called revolutionary guys. When you look in their history, they never even had a fist fight with a white person when they was a kid. Talking about they revolutionaries. Their whole history has been smashing on black folks. And I'm not trying to say negative fights toward white people. I'm not saying that. You ain't never had a fist fight with a white person because he tried to punk you when you was a kid, or he tried to do something when you was a little kid. But you run around talking about you revolutionaries. I don't know about that one. Well, you know, I ain't telling you to go out there and do that, but you never had a fist fight with a kid? But you're revolutionary now.
Do tell. And see, this is what made me. Yeah. This is what made me.
You're a revolutionary than me. But go ahead. I don't want to take over the program.
Yeah,
you got it, OG.
Yeah, this is what makes me upset, and that's why I sometimes I hesitate to answer these questions when people ask me, because they ain't really heard. I mean, if you listen to enough of me talk, then you'll understand how I go about using my words. But I live in a place, think about this. I live in a place now that somebody can come to you and recruit you and tell you who the enemy is, and you'll go across seas and not even know the person's name, not even know what neighborhood they lived in, not even know what they did, and you'll kill them. Just because you wear a different uniform. But then this same man will call you a worthless eater and all kinds of degrading names if you kill somebody in your neighborhood who was an enemy of you, or you thought was an enemy. You have no right to kill that person, but you have a right to go and drop bombs on other people and kill other people. You don't know their first name, last name, or anything. See, this is the kind of world that we're living in right now. And our youth, as they grow up, we can't trick them. We can't trick them that a lie is not a lie. And so it's kind of strange, man, because when I was coming up, a lot of people used to say, J. Speed, you fuck up the English language. And I used to tell them, well, I supposed to, because I was taught by uneducated people. And if you're taught by uneducated people, you find a way to communicate with other people in a way that they can understand you. I might don't use the real fancy words and know all the hip words that they use in the day, but a lot of them guys who do know them words ain't saying shit. They just using a bunch of fancy ass words because they don't understand. Look, man, I used to have a script, I got a short movie called Who's with the Real Frankensteins, Please Stand Up. See, what this man did to us, what he did to us, he went and got somebody else's heart, legs, mind, and everything, and he implanted that into us. And the problem with us, when we look in the mirror, we don't look like the man who created us, so we angry, we mad. And so when we do achieve things that, millionaires right now, triple time millionaires and billionaires can't come out and say anything that they believe, even if they believe it, because they don't want to cut off their source of money. It's almost like when I was coming up, my dad used to tell me, because he was born in 1909, he used to tell me, when you get in front of these white folks, don't you go up there and show out. I'm going to wear your ass out. And so I never was told that when I was in the presence of black people. I never was told that in my household. Don't you get in front of these black people and show out. I'm going to wear your ass out. It was only when I get in front of the white that they worried about me showing out. And so when you understand that kind of mindset, man, I don't care if you're new generation, old generation, and you say, well, that shit happened 100 years ago, 50 years ago. Yeah, but you still living in the nightmare of it right now. because I don't give a damn if it's 2025, 2027, 2030. If your ass ain't free, you just living and you surviving. When in hell we gonna get out of this surviving mode? And if not now, when? That's what I want to understand. If God made all of us free, why do 10% of this planet control all the darkest people all over this world? And you think our children don't see that? You think our children don't see that we say we're a man, we're a real man, but we're under control by other people? You think they really don't understand that? When you have to tell your black son when he goes down in the pole, driving down the street, that when the police pull him over, he got to act like a little woman. Got to be, yes, sir, yes, this, that, please, officer, and all that bullshit. When white people don't have to tell their children the same thing, you think our children don't see the difference in that? You think our children, when they sit down in school, go to school, they be genius at the house. You be like, damn, I'm going to get a smart son. I'm going to have a smart daughter. In 3 years in school, you see a totally different in them. You know why? You know why you see a totally different in him? Because with his story that he's telling in his history book, your child is learning how to be inferior. And that white kid who's sitting right beside him is learning how to be superior. And so until we understand this bullshit, man, that's why I'm leaving. A lot of people can talk shit about me all they want to. Say, well, you know, I ain't African. You know? I understand you don't believe you're African. I understand. I don't use the word African anymore. I use the word original people. We are the original people on this land, and we got 10% of the population of this planet controlling 90% of the people on this planet, and we can't even see it as old ass people because we keep telling our children to wait. Wait for what?
Amen.
That's what's making them crazy. Waiting to be what? An imitation of the white man?
So what's gonna happen, man? There's a lot of these brothers out here, man, are imitation white men. That's what it is, you know, and I remember back in the day when I first started driving trucks and I had to do the CB game.
Yes, sir.
And the white boy would say, "Shut up, nigger." I said, "You shut up. Taught me how to be a nigga." I was 22 years old telling white folks that. I know I'm not gonna ever see him put hands on him. So I just use it, and he couldn't say nothing. He couldn't say nothing about that. You the original nigga. You invented me. We wasn't no niggas in Africa. Where Richard Pryor said, ain't no niggas in Africa.
We didn't even have a word for it. We didn't even have a word for old folks home. We didn't have a word for molestation, rape, none of that shit. We didn't even have a definition for these words. Yeah, there's some barbaric tribes in Africa. Yes, it is. There's some people out there look just like some of the punk rockers down there on Hollywood Boulevard. But that wasn't our whole continent. You talking about a continent. You're not talking about a country. You got 50 fucking countries in the continent of Africa. But we'll do anything to please this man. And I think that's why I'm starting to respect Kwame right now, because he's starting to speak from the 20 years that he just was quiet. And now they can't shut his ass up. And he's bringing other brothers who feel the same way he feel. And he getting rid of some of these old shakehead, you should be Democrat Negroes who keep taking us to vote to put somebody in the White House. Don't you hear the word you saying, man? The fucking White House.
Taking you to slaughter.
Right. Listen to the word.
That's a slaughter. That's like taking you, what? You can get out of here. Can I give you, let me tell you something. I remember back in 2008, back when Obama was running for president, I asked my grandmama at the time, I said, what do you think about Obama? She said, Prince,